Okay. Hi, my name's Tim Duckett, and I'm an independent bottler. I'm not a distiller, and I have barrels from all over Australia, from 20 different distilleries, 25 different new makes, 25 different barrel types, and 7 different cooperages from around the world. And we're participating in Tas Whisky Week for the first time this year. And part of that is because I'm getting old and I'm getting a little bit grumpy, and it's time for generational change. And I have a son, Louis, and he's got a mate called Jack Lark, and they'll be the next generation. And it's time for them to participate in Tas Whisky Week, because Tas Whisky Week is something that promotes Tasmanian whisky for the whole of Australia, if not for the world. Okay, so an independent bottler is somebody who buys, historically, is somebody who buys whisky from distilleries and releases it under their own name and our own label. We are a little bit different than most independent bottlers in the world in that we buy the new make from distilleries and we put it into barrels that we choose. And the majority of barrels here are over 80% are over 50 years of age, and they are composed mainly of Australian and European fortifieds. So if you have a little bit of a look down here, that barrel and that barrel down there, they're 70-year-old Topaic and musket casks from Rutherglen. That's the style of whisky we produce. We produce a big flavour bomb. Though, with the influence of my son, we've started to produce more spirit-driven whiskies as opposed to barrel-driven flavour bombs, and so that's a new style of whisky that we're starting to produce. Tasmania, due to its location and spectacular scenery, I would visit everywhere, okay, including all of the distilleries that are surrounding Tasmania. You've got them on the northwest coast, you've got them at Westbury, you've got them at Launceston, you've got them on the east coast, you've got them down south. So combine your trip for the usual tourist, having a look at all the geographical beauties that are around, but also drop in at the distilleries when you go. You know, there's Warbs on the east coast, there is Overeem down south, there's Western Tiers at Westbury, there's Launceston at the airport. They're places that you should go to and you should visit. But Tas Whisky Week brings people to Tasmania, but it not only promotes our whisky, it promotes our state.
That's perfect.
The whisky industry, along with boutique brewing and boutique gin production, has suffered worldwide. Interest rate rise. It's a cluster of events that have actually affected confidence to spend, and also interest rates have taken away the discretionary spend, the disposable income. Plus we've got a lot of geopolitical issues at the moment that affect confidence to buy. So it's a tough time. And bottle sales are down across the board. We know that the brewing industry in Australia has had a significant downturn, the boutique brewing industry, and we know gin sales have slowed significantly, as have whisky sales. But with an event like Tas Whisky Week, that promotes Tasmania, that promotes the quality of the whisky that we produce, and quality will shine and rise to the top under tough economic conditions. Yeah, we've been around since 2012, but we put our first barrel down in 1999. So, you know, my previous life as an environmental consultant, funded all my bad habits. And so we have been around a long time. We have a lot of dedicated supporters. And so Tas Whisky Week, a lot of those supporters come down and see us. Are we going to many events? No, because we'll be busy coping with the flood of, it's nearly a cult following. It's good fun and they're good people, and they love to come and see us and see what we're up to, and we love to support them because they support us. And so we will mainly participate in the showcase on the Saturday. We'll be represented again by my son and by Jack Lark, and they'll be promoting our product down there. We have 3 labels here. We produce one called Tasmanian Independent Bottlers, and they are of the strengths around 40 to 52%, and a significant amount of water has been added to break those down. We also have another label called the Art of Darkness, which is basically a cask strength with a little bit of water added to it just to make a better drink. And that usually ranges from, low 50s to 60%. And then we have our Heartwood label, which is what we started with, and that is cask strength, no added water. The biggest one we've ever released was 73.5%. But also represented here are whiskies from Gypsy Whisky Co., which are run by Jack Lark and my son Louis, and they not only produce whisky, they produce local absinthe. They have their own small distillery, and so built on top of their absinthe production, they've produced a very special whisky aiming for the market where we can compete with Scotland. Scotland have got an oversupply of whisky at the moment, and whisky is getting cheaper for some of the Scottish whiskies coming into Australia. They are well aware of that, and this targets the audience that would normally buy those, better value whiskies, let's put it that way. The absinthe and Daddy Issues, of course, their whisky plus TIB, Art of Darkness and Heartwood will all be represented at the at Tas Whisky Week, and the boys will be running the booth at the showcase. Okay, so just remember, I'm Tim Duckett, and I run Heartwood and Tasmanian Independent Bottlers and Art of Darkness, and we'll also have present at the Whisky Showcase Daddy Issues from Louis Duckett and Jack Lark, plus their absinthe. So come along, come down to the Whisky Showcase, find us, have a discussion, ask them relevant questions, and we'll show you some good juice.